At this upcoming stage, what should be the role played by international organizations and bodies in ensuring uninterrupted aid flow and fair distribution?
Well, it's a very relevant question because the Palestinians in Gaza were starving. We know how
Mm.
food aid and medical aid was blocked by Israeli Defense Forces. I guess for sure the UN agencies would be involved and they have a huge role as well in this process. More generally as well, what we could observe, it's not clear in the current peace plan in the 20 points, but we don't know which international organization or which UN agencies would be involved. And more generally, with regard to the framework of this process, the United Nations are quite absent. And it's not good news as well, because it's not good for the credibility as well of the United Nations and international law more generally. And given as well the fact that the USA, Great Britain, and France, or even Russia and China are not opposed to a peace in Gaza or as well a peace process with regard to Israel and Palestine. We could wonder why the UN Security Council is not more involved, because it could as well make sure that this process would not be somehow hijacked in favor of US or Western interests. Because if I may as well mention it, Tony Blair is expected by some to be a part of this new administration that will be set in Gaza. And it's raising questions with regard to the credibility and impartiality of this process and this future institution or local administration, let's say transitory administration. So more generally, well, we could sure welcome the fact that UN agencies or NGOs would be involved, because there is huge work to be done of recovery, reconstruction, helping the civilians and so on. But at the same time, we could have the impression that the NGOs and UN agencies
Mm.
are just called to, let's say, sorry to say, to speak in this way, but to clean the mess caused by the US and Israel.